Hello everyone, my name is Zard and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be taking a look at 2023's Winter Village Collection set. This is the Alpine Lodge. The Winter Village line is one that I'm always really excited for. I think they really do very well when doing these sets, and ever since moving on from the trains and the train station and even the fire station, I think they've completely hit it out of the park. This one I think is no different. This is another really good addition to the Winter Village line. The gingerbread house still remains my favorite, but this one is sneaking up there and might be number two, but it's definitely up there with other Winter Village sets. This set has 1,517 pieces, an 18 plus set, and is set 10325. It's got 5 minifigures, a few other animals and creatures, many side builds, like solid side builds that are actually sort of substantial, and then your main lodge building. So I'll split this review up, go over the side builds, your figures that you get in it, the build, of course, the box, sort of everything about the set, and then give you my final thoughts on it. But yeah, so right now I'll just go into the side builds, and yeah, so here are the side builds included with the set. You've got an outhouse, a little vehicle to transport the Christmas tree or any other items that can be used by one character. You've got a place right at the front in the seat for one character. I think it feels like about the quality of a city vehicle. It's not overly detailed, but has enough to get the job done. I think the other two builds are really quite well done. So yeah, I'll just show you this one quickly, but it has a little joint there to move the cart around. And yeah, it's not the most complex build, but I think it gets the job done and is a substantial enough build for what it probably should be. The other two builds, the outhouse as well as the frozen over pond that's been turned into a hockey or skating area, I guess. It's just sort of, yeah, I guess there isn't any net for hockey, but the one character that is sort of given with it does have a hockey puck with them and stick. The outhouse here, I think, is a very interesting build. Of course, all Lego toilets are sort of interesting to get those, and it doesn't happen all that often, but when it does, I feel like they're always really detailed and very good. Like, you've got the one in the Ninjago City gardens or markets where you can literally put a piece of shit in it and it goes down through the sewer system, and it's really weird that it has a function like this, and this one is another pretty detailed one. I love the trees here. I think the trees throughout this are amazing. It's a new piece, of course, that I believe was introduced with Rivendell, but has been used since with other sets like the Endor, Speeder Chase, and will continue to be used. I think it does these trees very well, and it sort of creates pine trees really quite nice. There's another one singular piece of tree there. The outhouse here is a sticker right at the front for a crescent moon. I would love to have had a Moe's minifigure from The Office so that I could just have this beside my office set with Moe's in there. Once again, I think the tree is represented well. The snow ground as well as roof is nice. Seeing that gray piece is not ideal, as well as the tan at the back, but I don't think it's a huge deal. I just love how they have toilet paper there, and it's done well. It's weirdly quite well done. The pond area here has a nice little bridge area, which of course would make sense when it's not frozen over, so a person can come and jump into it. The piece here are large panel pieces in this pearlescent purple color, and I think it looks very nice. The base is sort of using studs not on top techniques, with of course studs on the top, but like the technique used to actually build the shape, and it is sort of that style of technique. You've got a little stand with a few skates there that you can use for your characters, as well as a bill that I guess someone is paying to rent the skates. Half a snowman there. And I really like the transition between the flat pieces and studded pieces. I think it looks really good. I love this little bridge area, and overall I think it's a really cool little pond ice rink area. Now you can populate it with your figures, like this one, that the child figure that has the puck and hockey stick. The character has got a blue sweater, red scarf. This hairpiece, I believe, was introduced with the BTS set, and it's a really nice hairpiece. They've got a dual-sided expression, along with they're given a hat and hairpiece, which that's the character with that. The other characters included, I guess, is the innkeeper. He's got a nice hat piece that I believe was introduced with the Paperboy from the minifigure series. The overalls there, or apron, and this whole outfit has been used a ton of times, as well as, I'm assuming, the face print in a city set of sorts. I'm assuming that most of these pieces are not exclusive to this set, but I do think they're nice wintry outfits to populate your scene. I really like this sweater. The leg print there is nice as well. The face print, dual-sided expression, the gray hairpiece. It's all a pretty solid minifigure. This one I think is nice as well. A suitcase there, some nice leg printing for the jeans, and another sweater print. The last figure is this skiing person with a nice torso and leg print. I think it's done quite well. This person, of course, has a bunch of accessories, as you would expect. The face print is a nice one as well. One of my favorite additions to this set is this little kitten piece. It's pretty cute, and I like it a lot. So those are the figures and the side builds, and now I'll just move on to the actual build itself. So here is the Two Pines Inn, the two-floor building that has a decent and quite well done interior. I think a really detailed exterior and a very solid winter village set. The bottom floor is a stone finish. There's a window at the front, multiple snow additions to it as well, some other rocks and other items. You can see the chimney, which is pretty well detailed with masonry pieces and other shape pieces to add some nice stone detail to it. You've got some wood logs out there with an axe as well. The window at the front, I think, is quite nice. The second floor has a wood finish, wood logs placed quite nicely. I think the build on it looks really nice. The transition between each row of them is really nice and well done. You've got a squirrel there on the balcony, which has a pretty deep layer of snow there, using these newer pieces, which is a really nice use of this corner one, which in past years you just couldn't really represent a corner with those pieces, which are also used at the top of the chimney. I love how that looks. The roof is done all covered in snow, and I think it does look overly pretty nice. I think there's a couple gaps in both sections of the roof. That's pretty much the only thing from this set that I don't love, is those little gaps. I don't think that looks great. The birdhouse there at the front is a very simple build, but quite well done. There's also a window at the side. The sign as well is a sticker, but I think a easily applied one. The base is not with one big piece, it's multiple different sloped pieces. Going around the back of it, it's a really detailed interior. I feel like you have a lot of space with this set, which I think is an advantage of Winter Village sets that just focus on one building instead of last year's, which had multiple buildings. And I think that sort of took away from the set in the end result, as because of the limited amount of pieces you used on to make it into 2 buildings instead of 1, the usable and interior spaces were really limited and you didn't have as much play area. I think with this set you do have a lot of it. I think the starting on the first floor you got a couple chairs there, a table, which are all quite nicely done. A Christmas tree there, which is the one Christmas tree of this set. Not the best Winter Village Christmas tree, but it is a decent one for its size. Looking at the interior here, you've got the front desk with a guest book as well as a bit of a buffet there. I really love how the coffee machine is done, some cookies and other treats. The fireplace there I think is done nice as well. You have some flames there using the light brick, which can be pressed from there. There it is. It illuminates them quite nice. Moving on to the second floor where you can see the actual light brick piece, but also coming through there, I think having those 2 points of illumination is quite nice with this. You click it once, it will stay on. You sort of have to pull it up after using it, but I think that's nice. You don't need to just hold it down. I don't know if I'm sure that was intentional and it was done quite nice. I like how the minifigure footprints are done there, as well as the beds and nightside tables, the carpets, and there's just a lot of small accents that are quite nice. The attic area has another bed, a Christmas gift, and the different Technic pieces used to make that roof slope. One not really nice piece you see there, the yellow as well as the blue Technic pin. It's not great to see those types of pieces there, but I think they covered it up all right. But yeah, I think the build is really good. I'm happy that this year they stuck with that 1 building instead of the 2, and I think moving forward I definitely would prefer that. I just think, as you can see here, especially compared to last year, you get a much more detailed singular building than less detailed 2 buildings, which personally I'd go with this over the 2. So I'll take a look now, just at the box, and then go into my final thoughts on this. So here's the box of the set. I think it presents the set pretty well. It's the black box, but it does have some nice snowflakes added to it. And I think all the builds and the side builds are represented quite well and presented nicely on the set. Of course, with a non-black box art, you get a more interactive scene with your building and its side builds and just an overall more dynamic scene, but they are sticking very much with this black box art, and I think it represents the set all right. In this set, of course, you got a little marking that the set has a light brick, and along with the set information there, and a little building from 1 to people, which I would say makes sense. For this set, you do have 2 instruction manuals. I think you could sort of bump it up to maybe 3 and have 1 person do the first floor and 1 person do the second. I think they're done in a way that's almost a modular aspect where you can sort of take it off. It might be a bit too heavy and it might be a bit more complex, but I do think it would potentially work that way. But yeah, I think the set is presented as well as it can be on this black box. So that was my review of the Alpine Lodge. I think it's a really solid Winter Village set. There's really not many flaws I can find in it. These side builds are really substantial and I think really add to it. This is the same price as other Winter Village sets, but I feel like you get more out of this. Of course, last year's you had 2 buildings, a little cart, and I guess that does feel quite substantial, but I think a lot of detail went into this build, whereas the other 2 buildings sort of felt a bit empty and bland with the interior, but this one came back to the real detailed interior that I've enjoyed from the Winter Village line. It has some of the fun little accent or small appliance builds that I really loved from past Winter Village sets. The addition of that I think is really nice. There's not all that many stickers in this set, and I just think they really did it really quite well. I love the wood finish. I was a little bit worried about that before building it, I was a bit worried there would be too many one-by-one versions of the piece, which would just provide a lot of cracks, and the transition between the pieces might not be all that great. But there's a nice use of 1x2s, 1x4s, the 1x1, and it just adds to it quite a bit. I think the stone finish at the bottom floor is done nicely. I love how the light brick is integrated into this set. I thought it was really usable. And I think it really used a lot of new sloped and textured pieces, newer pieces that could just add some really nice detail to the build, and I feel like you really get an elevated building experience out of this set, more so than other Winter Village sets in the past, where I think you really do get a strong building experience here, which is just great for these sets. And yeah, overall, I think it's a great Winter Village set. I'd highly recommend it. I've pretty much gotten every one for many years at this point, and this one is definitely one of my favorite, and I think, to me, it feels like the most complete package, where you get a really solid build, an amazing interior to it, and a few substantial side builds that really do elevate the set, whereas in some cases I find the side builds can sort of detract from the set, whereas I prefer they put the 200 pieces they put into a side build into the interior, but you've got everything you'd want from the exterior to the interior to really all the parts of the building. And then they add a few more extra pieces and made some really solid builds here. So thank you for watching this review. I'm really pleased with this set, and I hope you found it to be a useful review. So thank you for watching this video. And since I believe I'll be releasing this video on Christmas, Merry Christmas. I hope you had a wonderful day, and thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.